guys, welcome to Yoga with Kelly. Today I'm going to go over two poses. They're of course going to add on to the previous poses. It's going to be downward dog, and I know I went over that already one time, but I didn't show, there's some variations to it, and I wanted to show more of an easier variation for someone that's like super new to the whole downward dog world. And then the crescent lunge. So that I'm going to use the blocks. So I know last time I said, I showed you guys the whole easy pose and grounding, before, before, and then it's usually done before and after your practice and meditation as well. But you can sit on the block, like tuck it kind of under your tailbone, just scooched in, and it'll lift your bum up, and then it'll help you to be grounded, and then more your spine will be more straight. It's so much easier than just sitting there with your legs crossed. So I will show you guys starting with easy pose, and then we'll go into the downward facing dog, where I'll show you the variation, and then I'll show you the crescent lunge. I really do dig the crescent lunge. It's so good for stretch. I don't know, just for your hamstrings. And I'm like, oh, when I get into it, I'm just like, this feels so amazing. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the easy pose. So we're just gonna sit and get into our easy pose. So we're cross-legged, and then I said you can place the block. Hopefully you can see this on the side. So where you're gonna place the block is just like, or you can even use a pillow as well. But so you'll just kind of like you're sitting there, right? So you want to put the block or the pillow, whatever. It's like halfway under your bum. Just enough so it doesn't scoot out, and then you don't want to be sitting on it like that. I mean, you can, but it's kind of uncomfortable. So whatever really works with you. For me, I've always liked this because it just gives me enough. So you'll see without, I kind of look slunched, and then I have to force it a little bit just to have my spine straight. So put that block in, just tuck it under the tailbone a little bit. Even if I try to slouch, it doesn't really let me. Anyways, so we're going to, we'll start with our this is like my traditional breathing routine before we begin any practice. We're gonna do the 3 breaths and the 4 count inhale, hold for a count of 2, and exhale count of 4. We're gonna do those 3 times, and then when you exhale, you can exhale through your nose or through your mouth, or switch it up, whatever you wanna do. But we will start, and we will start grounding. All right, now I'm ready. Okay, now I'm ready. Let's go. All right, count of 4. You want to close your eyes, and we're focusing on grounding. So I like to ground putting my palms down on my knees, and we will begin our breath. With the count of 4, inhale through the nose, filling the entire diaphragm. Hold for a count of 2, and then release a count of 4. And we'll do that 2 more times on our own. Gently open your eyes. So I'm going to show you, as I said, the downward dog, and it's going to be an add-on to the other first video. So it's probably like the video prior. You'll figure it out, I'm sure. I'll label them at the bottom of what poses they are. But again, you want to make sure that you slowly get into this, so make sure your body's warmed up. So before you just get into your downward facing dog, you can get into child's pose, and then do the cat cow. That's that's really good spine work, warm up and your entire body warm up. Then when you can slowly get into downward facing dog. And there's some warm ups in downward facing dog as well. So again, I like to, have my hands flaring and my fingers spread apart. The palms are on the mat, top of the mat. They're about shoulder width apart. And you're going to tuck your toes and see my knees are slightly, they're slightly beyond my hips. So that's where you kind of want to start. So we're going to lift ourselves up, and when you lift up into your downward facing dog, make sure that you don't try not to put any stress or strain on your shoulders. So when you're pushing up, it's more of engaging your abdomens or your abdominals. So your lower abs especially. And you're gonna just imagine there's like a string that's pulling your booty up, if you will, right? So go ahead and lift yourself up using your lower abs again. So when you're first starting out, a variation is going to, you're really not going to want to force anything here. So you're not going to want to force to, straighten your arms as much as you can, your legs as much as you can. You're going to have that core engagement, of course. Your elbows are not going to be locked at all. Try not to lock those. You're going to feel a pushing through your palms that's on the mat, and you're going to feel that energy coming through. It's just imagine that string again pulling your booty up and back, but that energy, a line of energy coming through your palms as you press down on your mat, wrapping around your arms, your elbows, your shoulders, and then coming out through your tailbone, following your entire spine up, coming out through your tailbone, and then the energy is going to come down. You're just going to imagine this, the energy coming down the back of your legs into your mat. Variation for a downward facing dog, instead of trying to, like I said earlier, trying to have your knees locked out. You don't want anything locked out when you're in these poses, trust me. Just go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. Again, you're going to have that core engagement, and you want to be mindful to it. And as you continue to practice, it usually comes naturally. You'll just know, your body will get used to how it's supposed to feel. So this would be downward facing dog. And again, my feet are not completely touching the mat. Right now they are. And that's a little bit like, whoa, my hamstrings are kind of tight right now. So that's a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to come back. Woo, that was intense. So there's the downward facing dog. And then there's your little variation. But you don't want to bend them too much to where your shoulders are taking all your weight. You can just play with this too. This is a warm up. Sway your knees side to side. Take your left foot behind your right foot and do a little twist. You can feel a line of energy coming from your palms all the way up your arm and the left side of your ribs and your left hip. You can feel that imaginary string pulling your booty toward the back. And go ahead and switch with your right foot behind your left foot. And we're going to do the same on the other side, feeling that line of energy coming through your palms, wrapping around your arms and your right side ribs, and then coming out through your booty. We'll come back. We'll just take our knees down and go back a little bit. So again, it's kind of easy to just let your shoulders bear all the weight, and you want to make sure that you don't do that. And if you start doing that, just come down and take a breath. But you can, as you continue practicing just to get in those poses, just take your time. Don't force anything. Again, your body has to be warmed up. I mean, anyway, you just try to do a stretch with hold muscles and you can injure yourself so quickly. So so that was the downward facing dog, and the next one I'm going to show you is the crescent lunge, and that's one of my faves. So, and again, I have my blocks. No matter what, even if your pose, even if you can get into the pose perfect, again, nobody's perfect. It's your body. You have to listen to your body and yourself. Don't care what anyone else looks like. If they can do a pose and you're just like, oh my God, I want to do that pose. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Don't worry about it. You'll get it. If you just keep practicing, just like anything in life, you will get it. So again, the blocks are your friends. The strap, yoga strap, and I'll bring that into a next, another video. Those are not crutches. Those are totally your friends. Use them. I don't care. Just use them if especially when you're first learning. So with a crescent lunge, we will start in a downward facing dog. I'll go this way. I'll start this way, and then I'll just move toward the camera so you guys can see me. So get back into my downward facing dog, just a little different angle. There's something called the 3-point pose. I want to just show this to you guys because it helps me to get into my crescent lunge. But you don't have to do that when you're first starting out. I highly recommend you don't do it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like, because it will, over time, when you get used to it, it will help. It'll just help, and it feels really good because it's like an extra stretch, right? So this is a 3-point pose. I'm going to take my right leg up, and I'm pushing out through my heels, so my toes flex like a Barbie foot, if you will. And you're pushing that energy out through your heel. Now you can feel, I can feel my hamstring on my left leg. Oh, it feels so amazing. But you don't want to go too intense with it, especially when your body's cool. So this is a 3-point pose. So what we usually do when we go to crescent lunge, we'll come in. Again, our core is slightly engaged. We're coming in, we're taking our knee up, and we're taking the heel of our foot. We're placing it at the top of our mat. This is going to be our crescent lunge. I'll do this again with a 3-point so you guys know. So, all right. I didn't even work out. I'm like, ugh. So you're going to take your right. We're doing the right side right now. So your right foot, your right leg is up. Your heel and your hands are going to be in line with each other. And if you notice how I have that bend in my back, you don't want to have that. You want to try to keep as straight as possible. So this is where the blocks come in. Mine are at midway right now, so I can come up like that. You can also just use different sides of the block and then come up even more. Again, focus on that, you'll have to keep that mindful focus on that core engagement. Not a crazy intense engagement, but you're going to have that core engagement, so it's going to help you to have more control of your body, so you're not falling out of these poses, and so you get the best benefit that's for you and for your body. So I'm going to take the blocks to the medium part for me. Again, you're going to lift your shoulders up towards your ears, and then back on your lay on your back. And then notice my spine is straight. So this is getting into the crescent lunge. This is a lunge, right? So we're going to, let me see, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna get back into this without the 3-point, so you guys see what's going on. And then I'll do the little switch the angle, so you guys see what I look like from a different angle, because your feet are supposed to be, you're not on railroad, or you're not on a tight wire. You're just pretend like you're on railroad tracks, 2 tracks in different lanes, so your feet are going to be different lanes. When I switch the angle, you guys will get to see that better. So we are going to come back into downward facing dog. And this time I'm gonna switch legs. I need to stretch the other one. There you go. So again, this is a 3-point. I'm just doing this on the other side for myself, and then I'm gonna do the get into the lunge without the 3-point. And again, taking the knee in, the heel's gonna go toward the top of the mat. Blocks at the side, shoulders back, core engaged, elongating that spine, and your chin's gonna be, when you're in this pose, of course I keep looking at the camera, but in reality you're going to be like this. So your chin's going to be slightly tucked, and you're going to see that long spine. It's elongating. Again, there's that imaginary string that's pulling your forehead up, like the crown of your head up. There you go. And you can feel your pelvic relax into it. So this side, my left leg, this time my left leg is up. So the right pelvic's going to sink like a dip a little bit down, but not too much. And you're gonna have, so my right leg is buoyant right now. It's supporting me. Again, I have my core slightly engaged, so it's helping me not like fall out of it completely. So I'll come down to my knees so I can get out of this pose. And now I'm going to get into the lunge without the 3-point this time. So, our favorite downward facing dog. All right, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and, that was without the 3-point. Again, that's our lunge. Now I'm going to switch the view so you guys can see what I look like in the front, right? I'm gonna come into downward facing dog, totally off my mat. I hope this angle is good for you guys. Again, we're not locking out our elbows. That's so easy to do, but we have to really be mindful to listening to our body and to our form. So here I have my left leg forward. It's at the 90-degree angle. Again, if I put my hands down or hands down on blocks, my wrists are in line with my ankle. So we have the slight core engagement. The hips, you see what I'm saying? The railroad tracks, different lanes. We're not too far out. It doesn't have to be all dramatic. We're in line. It's hip distance. We are hip distance. So there was a video where I showed you the mountain pose, and that's how you're going to have your feet or your legs in line. Let's see, buoyancy in the leg that's back, so it's my right leg that's back. Your knee is not locked, but you have that buoyancy, you have that engagement. Okay, there's that. And this is what it looks like. When I did it on the side, you saw my spine was straight, like I had that imaginary string coming out of my head. This is how it looks in the front, same way. There's that, ready to come down. So those are the lunges. And when you get into the crescent, there's the crescent, then the back bend. There's a back bend. I'll just go into it real quick. You don't have to try it. You just have an idea. As I continue with these videos, I'll show you the details. And then I'll also post where I just have classes. Like, I'm just practicing yoga. So, and then I'll have music or whatever. I don't know. I just love it. But you'll be able to see the actual flow. All right. So I'll do the whole crescent lunge. 3 points. Right leg in. Heel down. Core is engaged. Inhale. We're going to come up. And we're going to raise our arms up. This is a crescent lunge. Okay, so everything is the same with the whole 90 degrees and the buoyancy in your left leg and your hips. You're still on the railroad tracks. the flexation going on in the foot that's behind you. The only thing that's different here is now you're up. Your core is, of course, I keep saying that's freaking important to make sure you have your core engaged. It doesn't have to be super engaged, but it has to be like, hello, I'm here and I'm helping you, so you don't fall. So again, 90 degrees, we raise our arms up. The shoulders are away from the ears. Charlie, move. Sorry, that's Charlie. And that's our crescent lunge. Okay, I'm gonna come down. Sorry guys, I mean, I'm sure you don't mind about my dog, but she's gonna be in like every video, I swear. But anyways, so that was that. We did the easy pose, introduced the awesome blocks. We went over the downward facing dog and some variations, and then the crescent lunge. And like I said, there's more to it, and there's other variations to each pose as well. But as I proceed forward with the videos, I'll go ahead and add those in. Leave any comments below, right? Is that below the videos? If you guys have any questions, suggestions, comments, just let me know. All right. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Kelly. Thanks, Yoga Kelly. See you guys next time.